Picture this. You're sitting in a boardroom at JP Morgan Chase in 2009, and some guy named Satoshi just released this Bitcoin thing. Everyone's laughing. Fast forward to today, that same institution is now exploring digital asset custody solutions. Here's what nobody told you about XRP. While you were busy watching meme coins pump and dump, institutional capital deployment worth $1.3 trillion quietly flowed through on-demand liquidity corridors in Q2 2025 alone. What's good, wealth builders? I'm about to expose the systematic risk assessment that separates phone number portfolios from panic sellers. Today, we're diving deep into why holding XRP isn't just about crypto gains. It's about positioning yourself at the epicenter of the greatest financial infrastructure transformation since the Federal Reserve. And yeah, we're also debunking those ridiculous RFID chip conspiracies that keep people from securing generational wealth. This changes everything. While retail traders chase quick flips, institutional research from the Bank for International Settlements shows XRP's consensus mechanism meets 87% of central bank requirements for CBDC infrastructure. That's not speculation, that's documented validation from the world's central banking authority. Let me tell you a story that'll make your stomach drop. Back in 2018, I watched my portfolio hit $127,000 during XRP's run to $3.84. I was that guy posting screenshots, calling myself a genius. Then came the crash. Instead of understanding institutional capital preservation strategies, I panic sold at $0.47. That $50,000 lesson taught me something crucial. Wealth isn't built on perfect timing, it's built on understanding macroeconomic implications. Here's where it gets interesting. 3 years later, I'm studying correspondent banking alternatives when I discover that Santander processed over $100 billion through Ripple's infrastructure by 2025, achieving settlement times under 2 seconds compared to Swift's 36 to 96 hour processing windows. That's when I realized I wasn't investing in a token, I was positioning for the future of cross-border settlement optimization. Industry insiders report that traditional nostro account optimization ties up an estimated $8 to $10 trillion globally in dormant capital. Banks collectively maintain these pre-funded deposits across jurisdictions, earning minimal returns while effectively immobilizing liquidity. Ripple's on-demand liquidity eliminates this inefficiency entirely. What you're about to see will shock you. In Mexico alone, regional banks deployed XRP-based remittance corridors that reduced settlement times from 48 hours to under 10 minutes while slashing fees by 60%. We're talking about real treasury management solutions, processing billions, not speculative trading volume. Institutional-grade due diligence. The numbers don't lie. Buckle up for some hardcore data. According to Federal Reserve research, XRP Ledger processes an average of 2.14 million transactions daily, making it one of the most actively utilized blockchain networks globally. Daily trading volumes average $1.73 billion in HON 2025, up 22% year over year, with Asia-Pacific markets contributing 30% of activity. But here's the kicker. Over 75% of transactions settle within 5 seconds at an average cost of $0.0002 per transfer. Compare that to Bitcoin's $1.35 average fee and Ethereum's $2.80, and you understand why institutional adoption accelerates exponentially. Treasury Department sources confirm that XRP's energy efficiency consumes just 0.0079 kilowatt hours per transaction, approximately 57,000 times less than Bitcoin's proof-of-work mechanism. This environmental sustainability profile aligns perfectly with ESG mandates, increasingly influencing institutional asset allocation strategies. The implications are staggering. Ripple's strategic partnerships now encompass over 300 financial institutions across 45+ countries. These aren't pilot programs, we're talking about live payment corridors processing real transaction volume. SBI Holdings in Japan integrated XRP to reduce pre-funding requirements for yen-dollar corridors by 30%. American Express deployed ODL to compress settlement windows from days to seconds. Central bank pilot programs demonstrate unprecedented institutional validation. Bhutan's Royal Monetary Authority launched Digital Ingultrum pilot targeting 85% financial inclusion. Montenegro tested tokenized retail euros. Georgia's National Bank initiated digital lari trials. These sovereign deployments underscore XRP's credibility, with central banks evaluating scalable CBDC solutions. Mega reveal: the $21 trillion cross-border opportunity. Hold on to your seats because this data will absolutely blow your mind. SWIFT currently processes $150 trillion in annual cross-border transaction volume. Ripple's executive projections suggest capturing just 14% of this market represents $21 trillion in global settlement flows annually. Think about this. At current XRP velocity metrics, routing $21 trillion through the network implies network valuation potentially exceeding $200 billion. With only 100 billion tokens in existence and zero inflationary issuance, basic supply-demand economics suggest extraordinary price appreciation potential. Central bank research demonstrates that interoperable CBDC networks underpinned by XRP could reduce cross-border settlement costs by 40% relative to siloed national systems. The Digital Euro Association proposed European Central Bank integration of XRP ledger rails for wholesale settlements across member states. And here's where it gets wild. ODL corridors already showcase this utility. Mexico, U.S. flows processed $450 billion in 2024, topping $1.3 trillion in Q2 2025. Brazil, U.S., and Singapore, India corridors scale rapidly. These displace pre-funded Nostro accounts, freeing billions in trapped capital. The RFID chip mythology. Technical reality check. Let me destroy this conspiracy once and for all. The claims about mandatory RFID chips for cryptocurrency access represent classic FUD designed to discourage financial sovereignty. I've personally tested every major hardware, wallet, ledger, Trezor, XUMM, and none require any physical implants. Here's the technical reality. Cryptocurrency transactions require cryptographic signatures generated by elliptic curve digital signatures, EXA, and SHA. 256 hashing algorithms. These mathematical proofs operate completely independently of any physical identification device. Your private keys can be stored on titanium plates, hardware security modules, or air-gapped computers, zero implants required. What in the world? A 2025 survey found 36% of respondents believed RFID implants could enable mass human tracking, despite current RFID tags functioning at ranges under 10 centimeters. Modern hardware wallets employ secure element chips, providing bank-grade security without compromising user autonomy. The RFID fear campaign exploits technical literacy regarding blockchain's decentralized validation mechanisms. Self-custody solutions through cold storage remain completely sovereign. No government permission required, no institutional intermediaries controlling access. Pure financial freedom through cryptographic ownership. Inheritance planning, securing your digital dynasty. Now pay close attention because this could save your family millions. Unlike traditional banking where death certificates unlock accounts, cryptocurrency inheritance requires specific technical preparation. Industry estimates suggest over 20% of Bitcoin supply, representing billions in value, remains permanently lost due to inadequate succession planning. And you guys, I have a special trick for you which nobody seems to be using, and I cannot wrap my head around why. Because if you sign up through my link down in the description onto the BuyDeFi exchange, you get a 10% deposit bonus, and now stay with me here. Now, here comes the important part. If you have any trading capital on any other exchange, and you move it to your newly created BuyDeFi account, you get on top of your capital. You moved another 10% extra trading capital. As an example, if you move or deposit $10,000 to your account, you get a $1,000 for free. And here is why this is possible. BuyDeFi makes money on trading fees. The more capital you have, the more you trade. The more you trade, the more they earn. So they're literally investing in your trading activity by giving you extra capital up front. And unlike other platforms where bonuses are in the 1 to 3% range, BuyDeFi's bonus is a full 10%. I am not kidding. I really don't understand why nobody is doing this. To me, it really seems like people sometimes are too lazy or just don't like free money. I kindly ask you to pause this video and take your time to make an account. You can thank me later in the description of this video. All right, let's jump back into the video. The phone number portfolio mathematics. Here's where the wealth creation gets real. Current XRP distribution data reveals entering the top 10% requires just 2,397 tokens, approximately $6,973 at current valuations. Compare that to Bitcoin's $118,000 requirement for similar percentile ranking. Conservative price models project $5 to $7 by late 2025, assuming gradual ETF approvals and sustained ODO volume growth. More aggressive scenarios targeting 10 to 15 hinge dollars on comprehensive U.S. banking charter adoption and RLUSD stablecoin volume scaling. Let me break down the mathematics. Asterisk. At $20 target, 50,000 XRP equals $1 million. Asterisk. At $50 target, 100,000 XRP equals $5 million. Asterisk. At $100 target, 500,000 XRP equals $50 million. These aren't guaranteed outcomes, but they illustrate exponential wealth potential for strategic accumulation during current market correction phases. The key insight: entry barriers remain accessible while institutional adoption momentum accelerates. Risk-adjusted portfolio construction strategies. Light bulb moment. Effective wealth building balances aggressive accumulation with prudential risk management. Dollar cost averaging during corrections reduces volatility exposure while maintaining consistent position building. Historical analysis demonstrates XRP's intra-year price swings average plus minus 65%, yet buy and hold strategies over rolling 3-year windows yield positive returns 82% of the time. Risk-adjusted performance metrics like Sharpe ratios improved from 0.4 inches 2020 to 1.1 inches 2025. Institutional segmentation approaches allocate defined portfolio percentages to digital assets with periodic rebalancing. This ensures large price movements don't disproportionately impact overall financial health while capturing upside participation. Security best practices remain paramount. Hardware wallets, metal seed storage, geographic distribution of backups, and multi-factor authentication protocols protect against the predominant risks in digital asset custodianship. Technical innovation roadmap. The future is programmable. The third factor will surprise even seasoned investors. XRP Ledger's upcoming protocol upgrades introduce native tokenization through XLS 20 standard, enabling direct issuance of digital securities, stablecoins, and programmable assets without layer 2 dependencies. Ripple's acquisition of Hidden Road signals integration of institutional post-trade clearing and collateral management directly onto XRPL infrastructure. This convergence of traditional finance workflows with blockchain settlement represents fundamental infrastructure evolution. Smart contract hooks integration will permit programmable logic execution within XRP transactions, unlocking DeFi applications like collateralized lending and automated market making while maintaining sub-5-second finality. Tokenization initiatives in Dubai leverage XRPL's escrow features for government-sponsored real estate fund distribution. Strategic alliances with payment networks integrate XRP liquidity into merchant acceptance and IoT micropayment applications. The generational mindset. Beyond personal wealth. Your future self thanks you. Building phone number portfolios transcends personal financial freedom. It's about intergenerational wealth transfer, enabling family legacies through digital asset preservation. Picture yourself in 2030, analyzing 7-figure XRP positions, living debt-free, potentially achieving early retirement through passive yield generation. Your children understanding cryptocurrency fundamentals because you educated them early. Your estate plan ensuring seamless wealth transition across generations. This represents sovereign wealth independence through decentralized asset ownership. No government approval required, no institutional intermediaries controlling access. Pure financial sovereignty secured through cryptographic ownership. The greatest wealth transfers occur during technological paradigm shifts when new infrastructure reaches mainstream adoption, while most participants focus on short-term price movements. XRP represents that convergence today. Your strategic implementation framework. Here's your exact action plan. Security audit. Migrate holdings from exchange custody to hardware wallet self-custody with proper backup procedures. Never store 2 keys together. Geographic distribution across safe deposit boxes, home safes, attorney offices, inheritance planning. Establish legal documentation, multi-signature configurations, heir education programs. Work with crypto-knowledgeable estate attorneys, understanding both inheritance, law, and digital asset management. FUD filtration. Unfollow fear-based content sources. Focus on institutional development metrics, partnership announcements, regulatory progress, and technological innovations rather than price speculation. Target definition. Establish specific milestones, whether $5, $50, or legendary phone number status with predetermined strategy execution. Plan your profit-taking before it matters, not during emotional market peaks. Continuous education. Maintain awareness of Basel III compliance standards, ISO 20022 implementation, prudential regulations, and financial services modernization trends affecting institutional adoption. The conviction imperative. When history judges. Remember this moment. You're reading this during what will likely be remembered as the last major accumulation opportunity before institutional capital deployment reaches critical mass. The more comprehensive your understanding, the more difficult it becomes to shake your conviction during temporary corrections. Behavioral finance research confirms that reducing portfolio churn through pre-committed strategies and milestone-based execution mitigates emotional trading decisions. Community support through verified channels helps maintain focus on fundamentals rather than headlines. When historians document this era's wealth transfer, when future generations study how digital assets revolutionized intergenerational prosperity, you'll confidently state, I was positioned. I understood the technology. I secured my family's financial sovereignty. The convergence is undeniable. Regulatory clarity unlocking institutional adoption. Central banks piloting CBDC infrastructure. Hardware wallet adoption exceeding 5.8 million units globally. Estate planning frameworks evolving to accommodate digital assets. Knowledge plus preparation eliminates fear. Technical understanding of cryptographic security. Legal frameworks enabling inheritance. Institutional adoption metrics validating utility. These represent your weapons against uncertainty. Don't let fear steal generational prosperity. Don't permit conspiracy theories to compromise financial sovereignty. Don't allow inadequate planning to eliminate family legacy potential. Hold XRP until your portfolio displays numbers so substantial they resemble something you dial. That's not hype, that's strategic positioning for the greatest technological wealth transfer in human history. Smash that like button like your financial future depends on it, subscribe for institutional grade analysis, and share this framework with fellow wealth builders. The choice is simple, position for transformation or watch from the sidelines. Which side of history will you choose? Smart money accumulates while others capitulate. Patient capital compounds while emotional capital evaporates. Your future self is counting on today's decisions. Make them count.